we are here live based on the issue that is going on in Rivers State. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press, and great to have you guys within a short period of time, and we apologize for starting late. We're supposed to roll by 3 p.m. We apologize for that. We are here in reaction to the judgment that has just been delivered in Rivers State by the appeal court, and to clear some of the misgiving and propaganda that is flying around. The summary and implication of what happened today is that the pro-Wike 27 sacked lawmakers remain sacked. Their seat remains vacant, as appeal court didn't decide on the legality of their decampment and declaration of their seat vacant. Appeal court didn't today void the declaration. They did not void the declaration of the seat of the 27 pro-Wike lawmakers. Now, I need to take you people a little bit back. The subject matter before the appeal court that was decided was mainly on issue of jurisdiction on the interlocutory injunction that was obtained by the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Okejumbo. And the appeal court feels in its wisdom that issues surrounding decampment, that the right court that have jurisdiction is the Federal High Court. And on that side, he set aside the proceedings of the Rivers State House of Assembly. And there was no order on any action or any issue. So the implication of this is very simple. No courts in Nigeria till today have decided on the legality or illegality of the decampment, that have given a final judgment on the issue of decampment. The implication of that is that the votes and proceedings of the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by the then Speaker, Edison Ehi, as of December 13, 2023 or thereabouts, which declared the seat of the 27 lawmakers, is still very valid. I have not been nullified by any court. The implication of that is that former Speaker Amwefla and his group of 27 are still up to this moment not members of the Rivers State House of Assembly until there is a contrary judgment of finality on that matter as we progress. Now, like I said before, and I will repeat, the pro-Wike 27 sacked lawmakers of the Rivers State House of Assembly remain sacked. Their seat remains vacant, as appeal court didn't decide on the validity of their illegal decampment nor the declaration of their seats vacant. The appeal court focused today on declaring that the Federal High Court is the court with jurisdiction to decide on the issues that were earlier on brought before the Rivers State High Court. The former Speaker, Edison Ehi, and led House of Assembly then, and the vote and proceedings that declared the seat of the 27 lawmakers vacant is still valid, and is a subject of pending litigation in different federal high courts. Now, let us understand this fact very clear. What did the provision of Section 109(1)G say? The provision of Section 109(1)G of the 1999 Constitution as amended is very clear. It's an automatic provision, because we need to understand what is in context, what are we fighting about. It said that a member shall vacate. The word there is shall, mandatory. Is a clause that is self-activatory, it activates itself. That a member shall vacate his seat in the House of Assembly if, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party, he becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected. Is this confusing? Is it difficult? So the very moment that those 27 group of lawmakers, with their own mouth, say they have left the People's Democratic Party and joined another political party without fulfilling the provision of 1091G, where he said, provided that his membership of the latter political party is not as a result of a division in the political party of which he was previously a member, or of a merger of two or more political parties, or factions by one of which was previously sponsored. So, at the moment they left, there was no merger. At the moment they left, there was no division. So that very moment you left, your seat automatically became vacant, because it was very clear that that seat, a member shall vacate his seat in the House, being a member, being a person whose election to the House of Assembly was sponsored by a political party. He becomes a member of another political party before the expiration of the period for which that House was elected. So the 27 of them were not members of that assembly. And what was left in that assembly was what was then led by ADC Nehi, which sat and also had a proceedings on December 13, 2023, and declared those seats vacant. That declaration is still valid and have not been voided by any court. Today's judgment was on the issue of jurisdiction on the interlocutory order of the ongoing proceedings in the Rivers State High Court. That has not returned anybody as a lawmaker. Because if somebody is trying or thinking that he can use this to start causing commotion, I will urge the Rivers people to stand firm and resist that person. Now, it's very important I draw your attention to this also. That going by the letter that was written to INEC then, which was very clear, he said, notice of vacancies in the Rivers State House of Assembly, portion to section 1091G and 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and request for conduct of fresh election in the 25 state constituency in the Rivers State House of Assembly. I write to formally bring to your notice vacancies in the seat of the underlisted constituency and membership, portion to section 1091G of the Constitution. The underlisted members who represented the respective constituency indicated against their name, jointly and severally decamped from the PDP, under whose platform they were elected, to the APC on the 11th day of December 2023. As a result, and in accordance with section 1092 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, and by the resolution of the House of Assembly at the 9th legislative sitting of the Rivers State House of Assembly, held on Wednesday, 13th day of December 2023, their seats were declared vacant. Consequently, I write on behalf of the Rivers State House of Assembly to kindly request for a by-election to be conducted to fill the vacant seat in the Rivers State House of Assembly. The vacant seat and former members are Tony Williams Queen Owa, Ahoda East, Honorable Abe Peter Enemenye, the Gema State Constituency, John Dominic Derima, Abu Odua State Constituency, Jack Major, Akukotoro State Constituency, Honorable Christopher Andoni State Constituency, Honorable Tekari Wellington, Asori Toro State Constituency, George Eneni Abo, Asori Toro State Constituency 2, Honorable Isaiah Akukotoro State Constituency 2, Honorable Igwe Ofoji Eleme State Constituency, Emeji Justina, Emoha State Constituency, Onwuka Obenechi, Eche State Constituency 1, Nwankwo Chimeze Christian, Eche State Constituency 2, Moa Dumel, Gokona State Constituency, Honorable Lemchi, Ikwere State Constituency, Honorable Bali, Kana State Constituency 1, Honorable Amewula Martins Chike, Obiakpo State Constituency 1, Honorable Amadi Emily Lucky, Obiakpo State Constituency 2, Honorable Nwabochi Franklin Uchenna, Ogbua Egbema Andoni State Constituency 1, Honorable Ezekwe Nkenjiki Ijeoma, Oba Egbema Andoni State Constituency 2, Honorable David Okobiri Arnold, Ogo Obolo State Constituency, Honorable Nwankwo Sylvanus Enyinna, Omuma State Constituency, Honorable Foji Gerard, Oyibo State Constituency, Honorable Nwami Solomon, Port Harcourt State Constituency 1, Honorable Akwara Azaro, Port Harcourt State Constituency 3, Honorable Bernard Beredime, Tai State Constituency. Attach are copies of the audios, visual, and print evidence of their defection. Signed, Honorable Ehi Ogrenye Edison, then Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now, the point I was trying to make by bringing this to your attention this was communicated to INEC for the conduct of by-election, even though it's still surprising to us why INEC have not proceeded to conduct the by-election, because there is no judgment anywhere in Nigeria forbidding that. And also, I will draw your attention to the votes and proceedings of the 90th Legislative Day, being Wednesday, 13 December 2023, where the House adopted the vote and proceedings that declared the seat vacant. What point are we trying to make? That the seat of the 27 lawmakers have been declared vacant, and there's no judgment that have quashed that declaration of those seats vacant, and there's no court anywhere in Nigeria that have decided that their cross-carpeting from PDP at the time there was no division to APC is legal. And let us be mindful of the conversation we're having in the public space. Are we not saying, because of the vaulting ambition of one man, that our constitutional democracy and constitutional march should be retarded? That somebody is fighting, and because of his desperation, he gets some young men in the House of Assembly to jump into another political party when there was no division, in their desperate way to force Fubara out of office unconstitutionally. And suddenly they realize the stupidity in their action. And then suddenly they are running around all courts in Nigeria, so that our court will say what? Our court will void those provisions of our constitution. Is that going to be a progress? That lawmakers can jump ship at any time they like and then remain in office, even when there is no prevailing need or reason for that. That is what we are fighting for. That is what this matter is all about. An attempt to undermine our constitutional march. And these are the things that led to crisis. If you remember those days, both in the Western Regional House of Assembly, that even led to a crisis and military coup. This commotion, when people see simple truth, did they not decamp? Yes, they decamp. Did they not have a vote on proceeding back list? Yes, there is. Did they not publicly say it? Yes, they did. Did they not file it in affidavit before Justice Omotosho and other Federal High Court judges that they left PDP as of December 2023? Then why are you holding on a tree fighting to remain as members of the House of Assembly for the purpose of unconstitutionally removing a sitting governor because you fall out with your godfather? So the point we are trying to make here is that all these pressures that is being brought and that's being put on our judiciary is unnecessary, because it's about one man. And I want the judges of different courts to also listen to me. Why do I keep warning about this? What led to the constitutional crisis of the 60s or the 80s? And it was the involvement of the courts and the federal institution, both police, in trying to aid those at the federal center then to try to overrun state-constituted authorities and institutions in pursuit of narrow selfish interests. And we must not allow that to happen. Judgment apart from legality and technicality has public interest. It is in public interest that lawmakers learned to stay in their political party unless there is a division upon which they can move. There was no division. And I know there is no court in Nigeria. There is no court that is just and fair that can wake up and say that section 1091G, which says clearly that your seat stands vacant, stands declared vacant once you cross-carpet from the political party you are elected to another political party without a division or merger in that political party. They were not even expelled by their political party. There was even no division. There was not even merger. The audacity to try to legalize or searching for desperate judicial avenues to legalize and then torpedo the provision of section 109 by now saying that those who left before your own very eyes. Everybody saw the video recording of the proceedings of their decampment, even on Channels TV and other stations. Everybody have seen the affidavit they swore at the Federal High Court that they left with no single reason. Are we going to support that? So I don't believe heads of judicial authorities and institutions in Nigeria, whether the Federal High Court or the Appeal Court and the Supreme Court, should understand that the whole world is watching. And we cannot. Our country is so big. Our constitutional march is so big. The interest of one man is irrelevant. And people should be bold enough to start speaking on that issue. Those seats are vacant. Those seats have been declared vacant. And there's nothing that can bring those people back. If they want, they can go and recontest the election and allow by-election to hold. So there is nothing today that gave them any victory. What happened today, and it's important Nigerians get it very clear, was an interlocutory injunction from the River State House of Assembly, which went to appeal. Even though we disagree by the interpretation that the Appeal Court gave today. But as constitutionalists and law-abiding people, we accept. And that's why there will be appeals and challenge in that direction. But what happened, there was an interlocutory application, an injunction, not even a judgment, an interlocutory application granted by Justice Wali also at the River State House of Assembly, which came on appeal even when they were not party. They were joined, and then the court now said he's setting it aside, and that the court have no jurisdiction. That was all. How does that got to do with the fact that as of December 13, 2023, the seat of these pro-Wike lawmakers have been declared vacant? What has it got to do with the fact that those vote and proceedings have been legalized, and also communication made to INEC when ADC then was speaker? So, okay, Jumbo remains the speaker of the River State House of Assembly until there is a final judgment of either a federal high court, appeal court, or to Supreme Court that rules otherwise. When we get to that Supreme Court, then we'll accept that. But right now, these lawmakers are not members of the River State House of Assembly, and there's no judgment. And I repeat, no judgment anywhere that have declared them so. And there's no judgment anywhere that have legalized their illegal decampment from the PDP into the APC. These are, even with affidavit. Don't we have shame? Even with affidavit that they have left, even when they were doing division. Even with the video proceeding, they are still fighting because one man somewhere wants them to fight. Are we all going to run away because of somebody's interest? The other day, when the news broke out of plan to frame some of us for murder, rape, and terrorism using the police because we are speaking truth to power and saying the right thing. So what I'm saying is that we cannot continue to keep quiet. Constitutional crisis over time has led to collapse of our democracy. So all these crises and all this pressure that are putting on judiciary to interpret what is clear to all of you. Section 109, 1G is automatic. It goes into effect at the very moment you move when there was no division. You can go to court and prove that there was a division. They are not doing that. There's no judgment or ruling in that aspect. And they want them to run. To do what? And also it's important, before I see what some people are saying, those local government chairmen who were hoping on the issue ruling on the interlocutory, your seats have expired. And what do I mean? You were elected for a 3-year tenure. Your 3 years. Take it. You can like me, you can hate me. 3 years tenure have expired. Is that not right? Can you, in the middle of the game, few midnight to your expiration, you say you have made the law that say you can remain in office forever? Are you Mobutu Seseko? Are you Idi Amin of Uganda? Why will you do that? And where has that ever happened before? So, at the midnight their tenure expired, there was no any resolution, even from their disbanded House of Assembly, or there was no swearing in by any magistrate or judge as they were planning. Their tenure have expired completely. And there was no decision of any court or any other. And there cannot be anyone for somebody to finish his tenure and continue to remain in office. And then the local government caretaker people emerge. An election had been fixed by the River State resident local election authority. So the electoral process is in the process. All political parties are participating. So they are not going back. And I want to call on the IG. If there is any of your men still remaining in any of the local government headquarters in River State, remove them. It's unconstitutional. What are they doing there? Are you trying to keep somebody whose tenure have expired in office? So if the Inspector General of Police have not moved anybody that is in that local government, unless it's there for the purpose of helping the local government administration that is there to do their work, but is there to stop people from entering the council, it's unconstitutional. That will be taking us back to the crisis of the Western House of Assembly and what the police did that led to constitutional crisis. Because you cannot, there is no way that somebody whose tenure have expired completely, and then in a modern day Nigeria, you now extend your tenure and you want to now remain in that office forever because there's one man somewhere pushing you. Is his father the one that founded our democracy? So I will call on the police. If your men are still there, remove them. And I will call on federal authorities and the president in particular. The whole world is watching. Our country must be run on constitutionalism. And this issue, we are fighting on the issue of local government autonomy and so on and so forth. And you are here, and people are keeping quiet, that people can start amending law. That's what it means that a state house of assembly can also amend law and say governors can stay in office for extra 2-4 years. Will you accept that? Or we can make a law here that the president can stay forever in the middle of midnight to the expiration of his tenure. You can only find that this kind of nonsense conversation in Paul Biya's Cameroon, or Nkurunziza's Burundi, or Mobutu Seseko's Zaire. Not in a modern day Nigeria. And somebody needs to tell them. So the point we're trying to make is that those pro-Wike lawmakers' seat remains vacant. The vote and proceedings of December 13, 2020 have not been voted by any court. And there's no court, including the appeal court, that have declared that those who illegally left their political party at a time there was no division did the right thing. Is there any such judgment? So why are they trying to misinform the public with propaganda to achieve what? And I want to call on people of Rivers State, like they did when the tenure of the local government chairman expired in June 17th. And they got the intelligence that they have carried some magistrates, I don't know whether from Nasarawa, in buses, to come and conduct an illegal swearing in early in the morning. And the people trooped out and defended their government and their council. I want you also to be on alert. I want Rivers people to be anybody that tries to ride on these misinformations and wants to obstruct the will of constitutional governance or try to bring in former lawmakers who are no longer lawmakers to continue to undermine constitutional governance and peace and stability. Defend your state. Defend your state. That is recognized under our constitutional laws. And I will call on the president to call those who are parading to be supporting them. They are not supporting you. Forget all the drama. They are looking for political relevance. They are seeking for political structures. They are seeking for control of state resources, hiding under your name. And if any federal authority agency is aiding them because they are supporting the president, you can now go with two bazooka in your hand to seize the key to Rivers resources. I pity you. So the president has been a Democrat, fought in the Nedeco, and fought in those days. And those who are his leaders has fought, even in those struggles in the 60s and 80s, against this kind of situations. Let me say this clearly. Nigeria is at a tipping moment. We have economic challenges. We have FS challenges. We have even food challenges. The citizens are so hungry and angry. The conversation we should be having, is it that one man, because he supported somebody in office, and the person is not doing all that he wants, and that he defines democracy to be government of him alone, so therefore there should be insecurity and crisis? Is that what we should be discussing? We shouldn't be discussing that conversation. And people should be bold to tell him that it's wrong. So what I'm saying this is that the country is at a moment where there is so much pressure. Look at what's happening in Kenya. And you ignite political crisis in a country that is like this. This shouldn't be the conversation we should be having. We should be having conversation on how to put food on the table, or how to increase production of crude to get more foreign revenue, on how to provide security, not on a quest by one individual to bring down an entire state just because he wants to get at some people and then hold on to state resources and structures of a state. Democracy is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. There's nowhere one man votes. There's nowhere one man. Because if you claim that you are the only one that do it, I'll ask you, what was your business? You did import tomato or onions. What were you doing last? Where is money coming from? They used to say you did what and did that. The right of Rivers people to elect should be respected. And democracy cannot be defined from the angle of one man. So I'm calling on security authorities once again. Stop aiding them. Because these things can blow in our face. Last time all of you were here, some of them went on protest with dynamite. And as God will have it, the dynamite exploded and cut off their hand. I was so happy when that happened. I was so happy when it happened. But people should learn. Because some of them that have died in that process, those people that are sending you, are they going to take care of your family? What are you fighting for? Why go to a protest with a dynamite? And up to today, have you seen the police authority address the media on this? Almost going to 2 weeks. What are they waiting for? If it was a supporter of Fubara that had that dynamite, you would have seen press conferences by the commissioner of police there, or the IG. Why don't you say the right thing? Today, why have they not told us who sent that man with the dynamite? And what was his real intention? Or is it because it's about Fubara, nobody wants to do that? Or everybody have been compromised, or what? So for us in opposition, we will not tolerate that. And we're telling the president, let us not do or allow his people to do things that can put Nigeria on the edge. There's challenges in Kano, where you see what is happening to undermine the authority of the opposition-led government here, led by the NMPP. Why? You have an emir that have been removed, sitting opposite the other side. All these are a recipe for crisis. Not because people doesn't have the boldness, or either they are compromised, to speak truth to power. If you want constitutional power, you go through the constitutional process. Let's not drag down our federal high court, our appeal court, our Supreme Court into the hunt by some individual who believe that there's no other business they can do in their life except the purse of the people. That is wrong. That's why we don't care. If they say they want to frame us with murder, rape, and terrorism, bring it on. None of us in the opposition is scared of that. but will continue like a voice in the wilderness to speak truth to power and demand that the right thing should be done. And that madness that they are fueling in rivers, it is high time it is stopped. Thank you. No. Listen. Make it.
Thank you very much. I'm sure we all know